Alright, welcome everybody. We're the CNO show reporting live from the 930 Club here in Washington, D.C. We're standing here with Corey Smith.
The man of the
live,
day.
yeah, exactly. Live in town from the Deep South, reporting, and you know, we're just talking about him. We want to get a little intro about him and his life and the background of everything going on with him, and find out exactly how north he thinks he can take this movement here. Corey, how north do you think you can go with the Corey Smith movement?
I think we're going all the way to Canada.
Oh my God! I can't wait.
Yeah, we've been up to Boston, New Hampshire so far. Well, actually, we went to Vermont, Burlington. I guess is about as far north as we've been. But tonight's a huge night. This is going to be the biggest night we've had in DC, and DC is officially not the South. So we're going to have about 1,200 people here tonight. Should sell out. Knock on wood. And so this is definitely not the South. So we're outside the South. We're going to get a big shake night. So
now we're at the 930 Club. You mentioned you may go to Canada. What are some of your favorite places to perform?
You know, I have a pretty even keel attitude when it comes to that. I'm excited every night. Each town that I go to has something special to offer. So I just try to stay positive. I don't really pick favorites. You know, it's nice playing close to home with so many friends and family. Man, that's always special. But other than that, you know, I don't really pick favorites.
You started off playing covers in bars down in the South, down in Georgia. You know, sort of like around that college town area. Walk us through that and tell us what that was like to go through that sort of that sense of not knowing what your future held, and how you came to be Corey Smith, the guy that actually, you know, made himself a legend in the Deep South.
Well, when I got to high school, I started playing some bar gigs, playing covers, you know, playing Buffett and Garth Brooks and Leonard Skinner and all that, you know, the barroom covers. And I didn't find it very satisfying. It was kind of sad. I decided to be a school teacher, so I taught school for 4 years, and while I was teaching, I continued writing songs just because it was fun. It was just what I did for therapy, helped me stay healthy, I guess. And then I started going out again and playing bar gigs. This time I tried to mix it up. I would play some cover songs, but would always try to play the majority of my material. And it taught me a lot about writing, because there was a reason why people enjoyed hearing Jimmy Buffett at a bar. There's a reason why they enjoyed hearing, you know, Dave Matthews or Leonard Skinner, or whatever the particular cover song was. So it set the bar high for me. Whenever I wrote a new song, I could judge it was going to be effective based on whether or not I could get the attention of a bunch of people in a bar who were eating wings and drinking beer. You know, they didn't really care about me. So if I could grab them with my lyrics, I was doing something right. And so far it's worked out.
Now I remember you talking about in the past how, you know, you would play at sort of college parties and high school parties and all these different things, and you would watch literally how people would react and how they would get into that moment and how you could capture them, how you could get them into that rhythm. How were you able to sort of take that from a college party and take it onto the stage and make that relative to everybody in the stage and in the audience?
It's just a long, steep learning curve, I guess. You know, there's a lot of practice. Getting in front of audiences night after night is very gradual. I can't say that it was, you know, a real conscious thing the whole time, but the main thing is just writing honestly, writing what's relevant to me, writing what makes me feel better about myself, and, you know, hope that this stuff resonates, and it's continuing to resonate. The more we get in front of people, the bigger the audience gets.
Now you're an indie artist, so you know you don't have the backing that other artists who are signed to major record labels have, but you also have the freedom to sing about whatever you want to sing about. Tell us what that's like for you. I mean, is the freedom really worth not having that backing?
Yeah, I feel like we've been very fortunate because I haven't had to go out looking for a lot of investment. Up until recently, we signed with Average Joe's, which is a great partnership, and that's just been the past few months. I've never had outside. Oh yeah, Tony's a great dude. Yeah, up until then, you know, I've never had anybody else give me a dime to help go out and try to spread. It's all been financed by the fans, really, by going out and selling tickets. That's cool. It's given me a lot of freedom. It's allowed me to make records that way I want to make them, and write songs, you know, how I think they ought to be written. And fortunately, partnering with a company like Average Joe's, which is another independent company, they're not going to ask me to change anything. It's worked so far.
Now, Corey, everybody tries to put a label on you, and that's one of the most annoying things about me, and I'm sure it's kind of infuriating for you too. And this is something that you've probably had to deal with the entire step of the way. Do you feel like that's something that sets you back and that sort of sets a lower ceiling for you, or do you feel like that's something you can break away from and it sort of allows you the opportunity to do whatever you want and reach as many people as you want, regardless of who's listening?
The labels are helpful sometimes. They help us decide, whether we're going to give music a chance. We like labels. So if I was going to label myself, I would say I was progressive country. I come from a small town in North Georgia, and I think my music reflects the kind of town I grew up in. And it's small, traditional, conservative, but it's growing. And there's a Publix and a Kroger in town, and we're getting swallowed up by the metropolis of Atlanta. So I think my music is progressive country. It's forward-thinking and traditional at the same time. So labels can be effective because they can help reach the kind of fans who we think will like the music. So I'm not too frustrated by it. It's just natural.
I got to be honest with you. I was literally sitting in my house about 4 hours before coming here tonight, and I was playing your music, and the songs that I've
In the dark.
exactly the songs that I've recounted in the dark time and time again, and my roommate walks by and he goes, I don't know what the hell that is, and he goes, I don't know what the hell to call it. Do you feel like that for you is something that you would take pride in? Do you feel like that's something that you just got to wait for people to find out exactly who you are? How would you react to that?
I'm proud of the fact that I just have a career and I haven't tried to be anybody else. I don't think there's another artist that people are going to go, oh, Corey Smith's just copying so and so. And I feel good about that. I think that I'm unique. Now, the trick is radio. Radio is organized by genre and format, and I think we're in a position where we can have a really positive impact on the country format. Because I feel like at the core that I've always been a country artist, but I haven't fit into that narrow box of what most people think of country music. Fortunately, country music over the past several years has really broadened. It seems to become more diverse. So I like to think that we can have an impact on that format. People are going to go, oh, Corey Smith's country.
Now, you were doing music on the side, and you were a high school teacher at a point in your life, right?
Yes.
When did you decide that you were financially stable enough to make that leap of faith and say, hey, maybe I can try this whole music career thing out?
There was about a 6-month transition where I started. First, I started tinkering with the numbers, I'd have to play this many shows and I'd have to make this much each night. And at first, I was like, oh, this is impossible. There's no way I can stop teaching. And then things really grew pretty quickly over a 6-month period where it started becoming more and more possible. And the thing that really tipped me over the edge is in, I guess it was 2005, played my first show at the Georgia Theater in Athens, and it was sold out. And it was
my God.
In fact, Zach Brown opened the show.
Open, by the way, I'd like to point that out. Zach Brown opened the show.
And Brantley Gilbert, I don't know if y'all know Brantley Gilbert, but he's another guy from my hometown. He opened that show too.
I actually want to piggyback off that a little bit because that was one of my next questions. When it comes to you with the Georgia Theater, you spent so much time around Athens, and the Georgia Theater, right downtown Athens, Georgia. You spent so much time trying to just get people to recognize you around that area alone. How special was that for you to actually get through there and get to play and just have people cheer along with your songs and actually record a live album to where I listen to it right now on repeat and everybody in the audience loves it, man. How great of a feeling was that?
There was something magical about that place because it's so close to home. That's the cool thing about that album is the crowd. That's the main reason we wanted to release the album is because the crowd was just so loud. The crowd's really a part of the track. So that's cool. It's sad that the theater's not there right now, but it should be coming back strong here shortly.
Now let me ask you about this. The actual theater burnt down, which was unfortunate,
right.
And it was about 2 years ago. Now on their website, and I was checking this out earlier, they're scheduled to come back right around June 19th, somewhere around there. This summer, have they reached out to you about playing perhaps in that reopening, that show?
I'm certainly we're going to be playing there pretty soon after that opens up. I know Will pretty well, so we're going to be in the loop on that.
That's great.
All right, so it's about 8 o'clock. You're going to hit the stage here at the 9:30 Club in about an hour. I see you got a cold cut platter over there. You got 2 jerks. What do you usually do to get ready, to get your head in the game and get ready to hit the stage?
I just try to relax, and I might have a drink start about 10 minutes before the show, but I just try to be relaxed and calm. And I save up my energy, enthusiasm all day because this is truly the best part of the day. You're on the stage, forget about all my worries for a while.
Now, Now, when you actually got the chance to record Undertones, that was a part of a writing contest that you entered into. If you had not gotten that big break, because a part of that was, whoever wins this writing contest actually gets to record their own studio album. Had you not gotten that contest, would you still be touring around the bars right now? Would you still be, pumping it, trying to get noticed, or would you be back teaching?
That's hard to say. That's hard to say. I certainly didn't think it was a big break at the time. It was at a little bitty coffee shop. I mean, there were maybe 20 or 30 people there. It was such at the time, it was kind of like, oh, cool, I get to go to some studio and record these songs. I had no clue that it was going to start, whatever has been set in motion. That said, by that point, writing was a part of who I was, and I was going to continue doing it regardless. So I like to think that regardless of whether or not that show or that little contest would have happened, I would have found a way to continue playing music, part of playing.
Corey Smith, thank you so much for your time, man. Thanks for coming to Washington, D.C. We welcome you, and I'm sure you'll have a great show. Thank you.
I hope you have a good time.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, Corey, man, just out of curiosity, what did you teach?
Social studies.